That's up to you as an individual there. They seem kind of dirty to me, but all right. So mental math. That's what we're about here. So the whole idea of this is when you walk into a store, you look at the price tag, you see the discount sign, you can very quickly figure out how much something is going to cost you. So rules-wise here, we're just kind of using mental math. So regarding rules, we'll get a few things down here for you. So for example, when it comes to rounding, I would make sure when you get a number that it ends in a 0. All right, that's what's going to kind of speed things up for you here. So, for example, a sweater is $37.80. Let's find a number that's close to it but ends in a 0, and you say, yeah, 40. All right, so that's what we'd be using there. To find 50% of something, kind of straightforward there. You're just taking half of it. To take half of it, what are you going to do? Well, technically, you are dividing by 2, and that's the whole idea, is multiplying by the reciprocal. So half of 40, yep, it's 20. All right, so something is 50% off, all right, you get to take $20 off. If something's 25% off, you can take half of the half. All right, because this is 50%. Half of 50 is 25. So if you take 40, take half of 40, it's 20. Take half of 20, it's 10. You'd get $10 off that you're looking at. 10%. All right, you want a 10%? Well, if it's 10% off, to find 10%, all you're doing is you're going to move the decimal, all right, to the left once. That's it. And the reason why you're doing that, because if it's 10% off, 10% as a fraction is a tenth. You're finding 1/10 of something. Well, to find 1/10 of something, you're really dividing by 10. All right, and that's why it ends up moving the decimal one place to the left. So 10% of 40, 4. All right, again, just moving the decimal once to the left. For 20%, you'll find 10%, and then guess what you're going to do? Yeah, we're going to times it by 2. You could double it, you say, but I think saying times 2 is a little more straightforward. It works, though. So finding 10% is 4. 4 times 2, it's 8. We're done. All right. Now, again, that's how much we're getting off the price. Now, if they want to know what is the actual price, then you need to do your subtraction problem. All right. But for right now, we just want to figure out how much we're going to take off of it. So let's go get your shoe here. All right. We're buying some shoes. Let's make it 60. 50%, so half of it. Yep, 30. Half of 30, yep, 15. 10%, move it one spot to the left, it's a 6. 20%, find your 10%, which we did, times it by 2, and there's your 12. So here's what I want you to do. What should we make this? Yeah, $100 there. Take a moment, pause me, all right, go ahead and fill it on in, all right, and see if it matches up. All right, you back here? Okay. Let's see, Did ya? And what about that? Yeah, cut it in half, all right. 10% of it, so move it one left once, and then times it by your 2. Now, this is the one that gets a little bit more interesting here, because when our numbers get smaller, we're not going to have as accurate. So here's what we're going to do. For example, let's go back to this $100. So if it was, what we want to do is find out the cost now. So if we do 100 minus 50, it actually would cost $50. 100 minus the 25, all right, it actually is $75. It actually is $90. It actually is $80. Those are pretty solid estimates. Watch what happens here. If we bump this all the way up to the $20 mark, all right, if we go ahead and find half of it, all right, we're saying 10, all right, 25% of it, half of that, well, that's 5, all right, and then 10% we're saying is a 2, all right, and then 20%, well, we times it by 2 and we get a 4. Let's say you didn't use the 20. Let's say you used $17. Well, okay, watch what happens here. Okay, a little bit more, but watch how there's really not much of a difference here. Half of it, half of 17, well, 17 divided by 2 is, yeah, that's 8.5. All right, it's close to 10. I guess I should be writing in dollars and cents, shouldn't I? Yeah, I think that's a better way of going about it there. Yeah, $8.50. Okay, and again, that's how much off you would be getting there. Take half of $8.50. Again, you can see the mental math gets to be a little bit more. It's going to give us a little bit more accurate, but you can see there's really not much of a difference between our numbers. Half of 8 is $4. Half of 50 cents is 25 cents. So yeah, it's $4.25. That's pretty close to 5. 10%. 10% of 17 $1.70. That's close to $2. 10%, times it by 2, $3.40. That's close to the $4. So again, when we're talking about an estimate standpoint, it's okay. Just get it ended in zero. It's going to speed things up, and you're going to be pretty close. All right. If you're taking off $5 off something versus $4.25, I don't think the 75 cents is breaking you. All right. If that's the case, then you shouldn't be buying something for $17 even though it's on sale. All right. So yeah, mental math, great thing to use. Great application. Nice way to impress your parents while you're out if you're trying to get them to buy you something. Okay, it didn't come from me. Don't say it came from me. All right. Don't sell me out here. But certainly you can kind of use that to hopefully get something that you want. All right. That's it.
Wow! That's all